A stranger you will never see again is about to spend the next 6 hours living inside your head, rent-free. He is going to move your arms, pick your tone of voice, and decide the mood in your home tonight, all from a 3-second gesture he forgot before he even reached the corner. That is not a figure of speech. It is the literal script of an ordinary day, and it starts somewhere completely harmless. It is 8:15 in the morning. You are standing in line at the coffee shop, in that foggy in-between where the world hasn't sharpened into focus yet, and the only thing that exists in your galaxy is the promise of that warm cup. 2 people ahead of you. The rhythm of the register is predictable, almost hypnotic. And then it happens. The man in a dark coat takes 3 long steps along the side. He doesn't hesitate. He doesn't look around. He just slides into the open space right in front of the counter, mutters a quick order, and pulls his wallet out of his pocket. 3 seconds. That was the whole maneuver. You didn't move. You didn't say anything. But inside your chest, something locked, like a steel gear jammed by a rusty nail. Your jaw tightens 0.5 millimeter. Your shoulders climb 0.5 inch. And that morning calm evaporates, traded for an electric jolt of pure, crystal-clear indignation. The man grabs his coffee, turns his back, and walks out. He never looked at your face. He doesn't know your name. In 30 seconds, he'll be crossing the street with no idea you exist on planet Earth. But you know he exists. And for the next 6 hours, he is going to live rent-free right at the center of your attention. Notice what happens the second you hit the sidewalk. You are not walking to work. You are restaging those 3 seconds in the courtroom of your own head. Your mind builds the theater. It writes dialogue that never happened. Excuse me, the line starts back there. It rehearses the tone, the sarcasm, the firmness, and the adrenaline climbs your throat as if the argument were actually happening right there in the middle of the street. And here's the first curious thing. The stranger is long gone. His coffee is finished. But you are the one who picked up the lit torch he dropped. Now you are the one pouring gasoline on your own fire. Why? A 3-second event, one that caused no real harm, hijacks your entire morning. It wasn't the delay. You didn't miss anything over 3 seconds. It wasn't the coffee. It was still warm, still tasted the same. What hurt wasn't the line. It was the story your ego told about what that line meant. The moment that man stepped past without meeting your eyes, your nervous system translated the gesture like this. He treated me like I don't exist, like his time is worth more than mine. And the human mind hates feeling invisible. From that point on, the anger stops being a reaction to the present and becomes an identity project. The ego desperately needs to prove that you matter. And since it can't do that with the man in the dark coat, who already vanished into the crowd, it holds the pressure. It waits. The energy doesn't disappear. It just switches targets. Think about the physics of a pressure cooker. Heat goes in, the pressure rises, and if no valve opens at the right moment, it doesn't evaporate. It stays in there, pushing against the walls, hunting for the smallest crack. The charge that stranger left in your hand at 8:15 is exactly that, heat that never found an exit at the moment it was born. And the problem with pressure and no valve isn't the noise. It's that it always finds the weakest point in the structure to escape through. And in your life, the weakest point is almost never the villain. It's whoever is closest and least armed. 11 in the morning, a coworker asks a perfectly innocent question about a report, and your answer comes out with 2 stones in hand, an edge in your tone that surprises even you. He looks at you, a little confused. You don't even notice you just passed the torch on. And the strangest part, if someone asked you at that exact moment why you answered that way, you'd have a ready, convincing justification. He asked in a lazy way. I've explained this 3 times already. The mind is a brilliant lawyer for its own bad mood. It never tells the truth, that the problem was a dark coat in a line 3 hours ago. If you are nodding right now because you just recognized your own day in that, do this. Pause the video for a second and write in the comments the time of day your torch usually drops. Morning, traffic, the first meeting. Seeing how many people describe the exact same hour you do shifts, a little, the way you look at tomorrow morning. And if you want next Chaotic Tuesday to catch you a bit more prepared, sticking around this channel is the best place for that. 3 in the afternoon. An email with a simple question lands in your inbox, 2 lines, 1 question mark, And even so, it feels like an unbelievable personal provocation. You read the same sentence twice, hunting for the hidden insult that isn't there. The charge is still simmering on low heat, waiting for any excuse. And a two-line excuse works perfectly. Notice that by now the stranger has been gone for 7 hours. He's already had lunch, already completely forgotten a line ever existed, and you are still carrying his day on your back. And then comes the hour that really matters. 6 in the evening, you finally open your front door. The first person you love runs to give you a hug and catches the rest of the toxic dust you piled up all day. A sharp reply over a dish left in the sink. An impatient outburst over some tiny detail. If someone filmed your day in slow motion and set the two ends side by side, the picture would be almost absurd. A heated argument in your living room at 6 in the evening whose original seed was planted by a stranger at a coffee counter at 8 in the morning. A man you will never see again worked your arms, your voice, and the mood of your home from 6 miles away, and hours later, and the relief of noticing this comes with a discomfort. Because you see how all of us are vulnerable to this invisible contagion. If you've ever chewed on a rude moment in traffic for hours, or wrecked the mood of a perfect evening over something crooked you heard at lunch, know this: you are not broken. This is not some flaw that's uniquely yours. It's how the mind's autopilot runs when no one is at the wheel. We pass lit torches of irritation to each other all day long, like a silent game of tag where nobody wins. And the right question isn't how to stop people from being rude. They'll keep doing it. They'll cut lines, cut you off in traffic, answer emails coldly, bump your shoulder while walking distracted. The world out there is a chaos you will never control. The right question is, what do you do in the exact second the torch drops into your hand? And here's the move. 3 steps, short enough to fit in the 30 milliseconds between the stranger's gesture and your reaction. Step 1, name it. The instant your chest tightens, you say to yourself, almost with humor, there's the indignation right on cue. My ego wants to turn 3 seconds of a stranger's distraction into a 3-hour drama about my worth in the world. The moment you give the mechanism a name, it loses half its power. What has a name stops running you from the shadows. Step 2, anchor in the body. You feel the soles of your feet touching the cold floor of the shop. You feel the air coming in through your nose. 1 second of physical attention pulls you out of the mental theater and back into the real line where nothing actually happened. Step 3, let the twig burn on the ground. You realize that man didn't step in front of you to insult you. He stepped in because he's blind, running late, trapped in his own fog, exactly like you've been on so many days. His behavior wasn't about you, so the torch doesn't need to be picked up. You don't have to carry that fire to work, to the 3 o'clock email, to your front door at 6. You can just take 1 step forward when the register calls the next person. That's it. Name it, breathe, let it go. 3 steps you can rehearse tomorrow morning, because tomorrow morning, in all likelihood, someone will cut your line again. And when they do, the man will grab his coffee and walk out, like always. But this time, when he crosses the door, he goes alone. He doesn't take your morning with him. He doesn't take your 11 a.m., or your 3 p.m., or the hug waiting for you at 6. Because your afternoon was never his to take, it's yours. And today, for the first time, you know exactly which second decides that.